I'm Sara Whyman.
And I'm Phil Whyman.
Between us, we have investigated countless locations in our search for proof of the paranormal.
We are invited to question the unexplained, to uncover what may be lurking in the shadows. With many reported hauntings throughout the UK, no two investigations are the same. Now, together with a team of experienced investigators, we continue to seek evidence to prove whether a haunting can be validated or not.
From a selection of cases we each receive, we will come together to pick the most interesting and ask the question:
Are you haunted?
A Grade 2 listed house in a quaint village location, but the owners are frightened to be in there alone. They've been scratched, they've been pushed, and a figure of a crouching woman is being seen upstairs. Wonder what the team will make of this one.
I'm bringing a village hall to the table. There's a reputation locally as being haunted. Figures have been seen in the windows by people walking past when the building's actually empty.
My venue is a rather unusual venue in the fact that we've never ever done anything like this before. It's a fishing trawler where a deckhand has been seen but without any face. We'll also be investigating the nearby museum where lots of strange things have been witnessed. Decision time. 3 venues, 3 brilliant venues, I've got to admit. But who wants to do what? Jane.
Can I do the Grade 2 listed house, please?
The Grade 2 listed house for Jane. Ben.
Can I go fishing, please?
Ben wants to go fishing on the...
Fishing boat.
Fishing boat? Dale.
Can I go to the Grade 2 listed house with Jane, please?
Yeah?
No.
Yeah? No? Yeah, of course you can. Sarah?
I'm going to go fishing.
You're going to go fishing?
That's a boy with no face.
With Ben. And I am going to do the fishing trawler. Whose was the fishing trawler? It was mine! Oh. Hey! So it looks like we're off to the Ross Tiger at Grimsby Dock and the National Fishing Heritage Museum.
My name's Dennis Avery. I used to be skipper of the Ross Tiger from 1975 till 1984 till the fishing industry all packed up. My responsibilities on the Ross Tiger were to take her to sea, catch a trip of fish, make sure everybody was safe and fetch the fish home again, hopefully to make some money. But it didn't always work out like that. It was all dependent on weather and how much fish you caught. There was a lot of things in it, but the skipper's responsibilities were quite numerous. At the moment I still work on the Ross Tiger. One day a week I take tours groups round the Ross Tiger.
My name's Dave Ormsby. I'm Acting Operations Officer for the Grimsby Fishing Heritage Centre now. In the mid-1980s, Grimsby lost its fishing industry to a large extent, so there was a big sense of a whole way of life and heritage locally here that had disappeared. So there was a sense of wanting to preserve that. So there was a lot of efforts that went into designing and creating something that would capture the height of the fishing industry that was a huge part of local life on the Humber.
The Ross Tiger, yes, she was the first of an eventual fleet of 12 that became known throughout the port and throughout the country as the catboats. Everybody knew the Grimsby catboats. Very successful fleet of trawlers.
So they built the museum on a very old site, and then inside of it we've got quite a lot of old things. So the original wheelhouses like the one that we're in now from trawlers. We've got fittings and rooms and panelling and bunks and beds and equipment from all kinds of different ships that have all been put together here. And there are quite a few stories over the years that people have had to do with the building that we can't always explain. So one of the things is things like doors banging, footsteps around the building, smells in the building. In fact, Dennis has forgotten, it's one of the things he often mentions, is they've even smells like breakfast in the morning on the ship. Which of course there's not been a cook making breakfast on the Ross Tiger since the 80s. But sometimes you come aboard and you can smell things like this, which is strange.
There was one lad that was with me, and one night after tea I was sat on the bridge towing the ship along, towing the gear, and this lad had been, and he was a lovely lad. He wasn't given to any excitement or fantasies or anything like that. He'd been with me a long time, and he came from under the whaleback and came on the bridge, and he was shaking like a leaf. So I said to him, "What's the matter with you?" He said, "Who's that bloke behind the winch?" I said, "What bloke behind the winch?" He said, "There was a man behind the winch working the guiding on gear." I said, "There's nobody there, there's only you on the deck." I said, "What did he look like?" He said he had a yellow oilskin on and a yellow sou'wester, but when he turned round he had no face.
Good evening, ladies and gents. It's a Saturday night and we are here again doing another Are You Haunted investigation. Hey! Hey! And this time we are in the Grimsby Fishing Heritage Centre.
Yes, we are.
That only took me about 6 attempts to get there. What a brilliant location.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Amazing.
isn't it?
Yeah. And the best thing about it is not only are we in the Heritage Centre, but we've also got the Ross Tiger trawler, which is outside in dock, and we're going to be doing that later on.
Yeah.
So how excited are we?
Very.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We've obviously heard some stories from Dennis and Dave about what's happened here and some of the history as well. Especially the bit I like the best is the bit about the woman who saw the 2 legs.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a story of one of the members of the team that was locking up the building on a night time. It is quite creepy to walk around at night locking up because there's mannequins and other things around here and dark spaces. But what scared her was that we know that there is a skipper that stands on what we call the bridge veranda over a certain walkway as you come in, and she thought that there was an extra set of legs stood next to the skipper that shouldn't have belonged there, which scared her quite a lot.
Do you know what it is for me? It's the boy with no face.
Yeah, that is
where's that come
strange.
from?
I don't know. The boy
That was on the boat, wasn't
the
it?
person with no face. That is very, very strange. And that's so whoever's on the boat, keep an eye out for that.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
But
Would you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Would you?
Surely it's going to be quite obvious because he was in a yellow oil
Yeah.
Skin
Yeah.
skin and...
A yellow sou'wester.
That's proper horror movie material, is that?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
So yeah, it's something to look forward to.
Who's your friend?
Let me introduce you to Tom. He's going to be our guide, although I do think he likes his tea, so he might stay here all night. Say hello, Tom. Hello, everyone. Right. So I don't think there's that much else to say, is there?
No.
No.
I'm excited.
Can't wait to get
Yeah,
started.
just
Can't wait to get
Excited.
started. It's freezing outside. The Tiger is actually in dock. It's making all kinds of noises because it's windy as hell outside as well.
Yeah.
So it is a bit creepy at the moment. So without further ado,
Time to turn out the lights.
time to turn out the lights. Turn out the lights!
Okay, the CCTV cameras are, as we look at the monitor. Top left is the back corridor of the Fishing Heritage Centre. Top right is a view of the pub recreation, which is just behind me. The bottom left of the monitor is of the shrimping vessel, which is literally just in front of me here. And the bottom right of the monitor is a view from the bottom of the area looking up, taking in a view of the shrimper and looking towards where the CCTV hub is situated.
Okay, so we're about to go across onto the boat, so we'll leave you to it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Have fun.
I'm looking forward to it on my time.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes.
You don't feel like you're on a boat, do you?
You're sorry?
You don't feel like you're on a boat.
Not at all.
But it does feel a bit funny when you're walking. So we're just going to hang about in here?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Is there anybody here with me? Perhaps used to work here at some point, or you're associated with this building, or perhaps some of the boats. Can you let me know that you're here? Can you speak to me, or can you make a noise?
Here we are, on the Ross Tiger.
Yep.
Down effectively in the engine room,
Yeah.
but we are in the sleeping quarters, right next to the engine room. It's gonna be loud,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Good luck sleeping through that.
Yeah, but after you've worked 18 hours of the day, as was said, maybe even 3 days straight without a bed, you're gonna sleep, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whatever the noise.
I mean, the beds don't look that comfortable. But...
No, I'd still be able to sleep on one. But it's such an atmospheric place, isn't it? It's... We're on a boat.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we're on a boat, because you can't obviously see all the water around you. You're
No.
just enclosed.
Is there anyone here connected to the items in this museum? Heritage Centre? Not sure if the camera or the audio here on the Tascam might have picked that up, but when I just dashed out, literally about 5 seconds after there was a kind of a vocal sound coming from the bottom corner, which is down there.
We'll have to see if it's picked up on camera.
We're on the Rust Tiger, and we are currently up in one of the areas that 6 people used to sleep in. You can hear lots of clattering and banging because even though the ship's it's fastened onto the side, it's creaking and moving because it's quite a bad night, so there's a lot of creaking and other noises going on there.
Yeah. So it's quite eerie because there's a lot of like moaning and groaning and things like that going on, but it's perfectly right on cue, perfectly natural.
So, what are your first impressions, Ben, of the boat?
Are you talking spooky or just
Yeah.
spooky? Not really had a chance to think of the spooky stuff, honestly. I think if it were obviously darker, like we've always said, so that's going to be a very different atmosphere.
Yeah.
You do get a lot of creepy noises.
So if there's any persons on this boat who's been here for a while, doesn't like to leave, do you want to let us know that you're here? Can you make a noise, a different noise to the ones that we're hearing already? Can you rap on wood so we know it's you?
Adele.
I hope it was.
Grief, that's weird. I can't see him anywhere. Okay, I'll sit back down in here. Oh, Jesus. This is total creep out. Total creep out. It's amazing, but the noises, it's like, that sounded like the music from Jaws. All I just keep thinking about is Jaws. Which, you're not going to get that in Grimsby, are you? Oh, it's me, I think. I just moved. Sounds like whale song.
So, folks, if you're watching, can you imagine being in the middle of the night on a boat that's supposed to be haunted? Good grief.
It's going to be quite difficult if anything does try. If there's somebody here, maybe you could make a sound with your voice so we can hear you trying to speak to us. Was that one of them?
No, I don't think so.
That sounded like a vocal noise, didn't it?
Oh, it's really going for it.
So we're going to take a walk down to the engine room. Another sleeping quarters.
That's a loud bang, wasn't it? Just quite a distinct one, that one.
Yeah. God, listen to the noises. So as you can see, it's a very noisy floor. Just going into the engine room. What's that then?
Just heard a noise coming from in that room where the bar area is. It's a little tap. Is there anybody in the bar area? Okay, first vigil on the hub. Really quiet, to be honest, on my own. Perhaps I heard a couple of incidents. One sounded like a male voice after I'd just asked out for something. I can't remember what it was, but I definitely heard something there. But all in all, for me, it was a rather quiet vigil.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got it. Hi.
Straight out here.
Just a tad. Oh.
So Dennis that you saw at the beginning, who we interviewed, this was actually his quarters, this was his cabin. So it's a little bit more grand than the other bits. It's nice. They say it was mahogany panelled in here. So it's quite roomy. The bed's
Tiny.
very tiny, to be honest, but I guess he's probably, by the end of the day, just fell into bed and fell asleep.
Okay, so we're in the engine room.
It's a lot darker here now.
Yeah, it's a lot better. Okay, so if there are any spirits here that used to work the engines, can you come and say hello to us? Oh, where's that one there? There we go. Okay. What the?
Is that a voice?
It sounded like a voice.
That did sound like a voice.
That sounded like
A groan.
a groan. That didn't sound mechanical.
No, not really.
Did it? Okay, if that was a trawler man, you hear the footsteps? Did you hear them footsteps?
I didn't think of it at first. Yeah, footsteps.
Okay. Okay, if that was a trawler man, you hear the footsteps? Did you hear them footsteps? Okay, so we're in the engine room.
Yeah.
And we've just heard footsteps above us. Really quite distinct footsteps, hopefully picked up on camera. And just before that, a groan. A really unhappy groan, would you call it?
Yeah.
Anybody here with us in this area that would like to talk to us? It's a lot quieter here. I mean, you can hear the sort of moaning and groaning of the boat, but there's no... It's nowhere near as noisy. Right on cue. come on. If you'd like to speak to us, let us know you're here.
So is it over there the figure was seen?
Yeah. Down on the deck there. That apparently is where the figure was seen. With the yellow oilskin coat.
Oh, it's getting worse.
And no face. Okay, so we took first vigil. We went on the ship.
We did.
And yes, it is very eerie. It's very creepy and creaky and noisy and I don't know, it's very atmospheric. It's quite hard to determine the noises that you're hearing, whether or not it is the boat moving or whether it is something else.
I don't know, my mind's playing tricks on me, but I swear I just saw something just moving that far.
Yeah?
Yeah. Looking down here, and I've got a really long sight line, I can see that there's stairs going up back into that room. I'm looking at the bottom of these stairs, and I feel like I just saw something just kind of like move away. Because behind the stairs there's like darkness, and then I can't see the entire, all the way to the side of the stairs. And kind of just at the edge of the darkness kind of thing, it does see like, it looked, I don't know what it was, it looked like something kind of just pulled away.
Dale, are you ready to go back inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so Ben and myself are in what was an actual sleeping quarters, sleeping area from an actual boat. So people would have been here and sleeping here in all kinds of weathers and conditions. So we'll see if anything happens.
Yeah, it's quite a bit mooching about, isn't there? Footsteps.
Hmm.
It sounded like, the other side of the railing there, in this room.
Yeah.
Just there.
Just where that door
Where
is.
that door is in front of there, yeah.
Here I am. I've come on my own into this section. So this is the part that has quite a lot of mannequins, and it's sort of depicting what the deck would be like when they were bringing the nets out of the water. So I'm just going to show you what I can see. If one of those moves, then it would be quite eerie indeed.
It's really weird because even though we're on like solid ground, I feel like I'm actually on a boat. I keep moving backwards and forwards, it's really strange.
I feel quite normal, honestly. Maybe it's because I'm sat down.
You're never normal.
Oh, it's warm through here. Oh. Hello? Anybody in here with me? This is quite scary down here. Hello? If there's somebody here, can you let me know? Don't want to freak out if I walk into you. Okay. So this is like the boiler room. This is why it's so warm in here. Here he is shoveling the coal into the furnace. It's absolute pitch black down there where I've just walked from. It is quite creepy to be here by myself. And this is one of those places as well that you get lost in really easy.
Anything on camera?
Nothing I can see. Nothing I've noticed. Apart from there's a guy from One Direction signed up.
No, I thought he'd have got us around him.
What's that thing? Hello? Has anybody just come into the room?
Door's there. I can
Yeah,
see.
no. That's what I'm just checking. You heard that?
Yeah.
Okay. Quite a few taps.
Yeah. Go back to the CCTV. It's 'cause for that room, for the rest of the room. So it'd be
It was
here.
there, wouldn't it? There.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've just heard, it sounds like a door opening.
Door opening, yeah.
Oh, hello. Can you hear noises? Hello? Anybody here? Gosh, where am I? Oh, you bugger. Oh, that made me jump. Oh, that totally made me jump. There's obviously like a blower on here to blow out the cold air, and I don't know if it must be like motion sensor or something, but that was, yeah, that was an interesting moment. Oh, go away, stop it. I'm going out of this room.
Anyway, yeah, we got
Steps in.
footsteps just then, literally. The sound of a door opening. I'm not being stupid, can you smell fish? Should we be able to smell fish?
It's not putting any smells on.
No. Can you smell it? I've just smelled fish.
What type of fish?
Freshly caught fish.
No.
I just got a real whiff of it.
Oh, I don't disbelieve you.
I just got a real whiff of Grimsby caught fish. I know it sounds stupid, but that smell of it as a trawler's just come in, kind of thing.
Okay.
It's gone now. Can't smell it now.
So I'm sat. There's a mannequin with its sort of head popping out the window, and it's like looking down at me as if to say, "What are you doing? What do you want? What are you doing in my back garden?" You literally do feel like you're sat behind somebody's house. I mean, look at that, it's got everything. There's a guy looking out the window. I heard a noise then. Then.
Is there anybody in here with us? Do you want to make yourself known? Can I hear your voice? Are you there?
to do that?
Yeah, female.
Yeah.
It's female voices every time I've heard.
Yeah. Okay, if that was you, thank you. Can you do it again for me, more distinct?
If there's any spirits here, can you just repeat this sound for me?
Did anybody start making studding noises?
No, there's a lot of bangs though.
I've just knocked on the table twice, but we're hearing a lot of bangs, but I don't know if you would have heard it, honestly.
I'm just sat still now, I'm not moving around at all, but I keep hearing kind of a thudding noise.
You know, like being on your own in there.
No.
Really?
I really, like, walking away just freaks me out. I feel like someone's done has grabbed me and pulled me back or something. I hate mannequins, honestly.
You hate mannequins?
It gives me the kind of, you know, the concept where if you look away, they move kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's whatever I get with mannequins.
Okay.
So whenever I walk away from one, it kind of gives me like the heebie-jeebies.
Should we give her a wander?
Can do.
Right, put that rope back across there then.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It says that a lot of the stuff happens in this area, doesn't it? As he was showing us around earlier, we obviously came to here, and he says that a lot of the noises have been heard around here, and it's getting a lot of weird feelings as you're moving around, especially in this, obviously this corridor and around this chef just sat here, or stood here.
Do you feel strange?
I did when I sat with the mannequins.
Well, we were in the sleeping quarters that actually belonged to a boat, and it's been installed into the Heritage Centre. You didn't like it really, did you?
I don't like mannequins. Oh, I don't like it in there. It's a very weird vibe, honestly.
Yeah. I noticed that because when I kind of left the area, you come scampering out after me.
Who's the lady's voice I keep hearing? Are you attached to this place? Are you Trawlerman's wife? Did you hear that?
Like a groan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, whoever it was. I'm glad you heard it, because I thought I was imagining it.
Yeah, no, I heard it. It didn't register straight away.
What do you think to this place? Do you like it here? Do you like to see other people come and visit? The most interesting part for me, I went and sat in the bit that depicts sort of like a backyard street area, and I was getting quite a few noises which sounded like they were coming from above, whereas I knew that everybody else at that point was below me. So again, not really sure, kind of footsteps, shuffling noises, and again, slight shuffling noises that were in the room there with me as well.
You heard that then as well, didn't you?
The fuck is it?
You heard that then as well, didn't you?
The fuck is it?
You heard that then as well, didn't you?
The fuck is it?
Is someone trying to get our attention?
Pinora. Not like frightening the life out of us.
You see, look,
Nobody look at that. Literally, we just said, because we keep hearing noises, is anyone trying to get our attention? Then all of a sudden the door opens. Like, fucking hell. No, just literally, just then as you come in. Okay, so we've just been on the hub.
Quite a good time actually on that.
Yeah, quite a few footsteps, some really quite distinct footsteps from...
Well, all different areas of the room actually.
Yeah, there was one a lot straight from opposite us, wasn't there? Around the other side of the
railings,
shrimp pad.
yeah.
Shrimp pad. The other side of the railings.
Side of that.
The sound of a door opening.
There's a door, yeah.
But it wasn't the door
that we could see. We were watching it. We went back and had a look at the CCTV. Couldn't see anything opening there.
But you could hear when people went through that door. You could hear that door open. It wasn't that door open that we heard.
Which was strange.
Okay, so Sarah.
Hello.
Ben.
Hello.
You're going on the hub.
Yes, we're going to take
Listen out. We've had another female voice, and we've had a couple of noises in here that were in here. And
Footsteps.
And yeah, we've heard footsteps. Weren't coming from anywhere else.
Right.
Did you get anything anywhere?
No. Did you? Yeah, I got a few noises. Footsteps. Female voice.
One Jamie.
No. No, I said female.
Sorry. You two.
I hate mannequins.
They're not very nice, are they? That room with loads of fishermen in it, with where they were, the bit where it moves. That's quite creepy in there.
My dad had me sitting right next to one of the mannequins, and it was staring at me, and I hate it. Because I think the way I kind of have mannequins is the way I think about it is.
What's that?
I hate it. Because I think the way I kind of have mannequins is the way I think about it is.
What's that?
What?
Did you hear it? It kind of went.
No. Where'd it come from?
In here somewhere.
Was it a male or female?
Female. It just like went.
There must be a green about hating mannequins.
Ben didn't like it in here.
No.
No.
In what way?
It just felt a bit creeped out.
Is it by Jane's boyfriend? Who's sat next to her?
He sat there, yeah. He doesn't like mannequins as apparently. So.
Oh, right, okay.
So I just left him sat in the dark and walked off.
Is that Dale? That's Dale.
Dale, did you just make a noise or did you talk quite loud?
Not overly.
No, it wasn't unusual.
No.
That sounded like Dale. Why do I always hear Dale's voice?
What did you hear?
It sounded like a laugh on it. Just sounded like someone just raised the voice like as they're talking, like in mid-sentence.
No, I don't think it was us.
Oh, weird.
You're right, Phil.
Yeah. Just got something like tweaked my hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed you touching your hair.
Ruining my hairstyle.
What's if it brushed against you? Or it's
Yeah,
actually
it's when I brushed against. Yeah, not. I say tugged. It probably wasn't tug. It wasn't a tug. It was like a brushed past.
More of a stroke.
Yeah, but only like a finger width, if you know what I mean. If that makes sense. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed.
Okay, so that is the footage from the Ross Tiger. What an amazing place and a great opportunity to have been able to investigate that.
Yeah.
So well done, that was your venue.
Fabulous venue, eh?
So we've got to ask the question, do we think it's haunted? So I'm going to go with Dale.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Which part of it? There's the museum. There's
you
the
tell me.
trawler.
What are you thinking?
Obviously, myself and Ben in the trawler. Quite later on in the evening, heard this. I can only describe as the groan. I don't even want to try and say it again. I don't want to try and do it.
Because you've got to remember that while we were on the boat, there were a lot of noises that were very weird.
It's on water, so there is a lot of movement.
Creaks and squeaks.
Yeah,
and
Very eerie.
Yeah,
really weird, yeah.
But this was different again.
It does sound vocal. I mean, we've obviously listened to it back.
Yeah, and as well as many things happening within the museum, noises, footsteps. Ben, I'll let you say it. I'm not going to say what Ben saw, but what happened to Ben as well.
So you're going to say yes?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so Ben?
I'd say yes. And what happened to me was I was on the boat under deck and I was looking across where these stairs were, and it was like dark under these stairs, and I could see something on the floor, and I thought, I'm just looking at it thinking, oh, I wonder what that is, kind of just like looking at it, and as I'm looking at it, it just goes away.
Moved out of the way.
Yeah.
Was it what? Was it man-sized, person-sized?
No, it was just like some just little small thing on
Like
the ground.
a dog or something?
Wait, we like
No, it was
like
like a child kind of.
like an object.
Oh,
kind of
right,
thing.
Well, it wasn't massive, but it wasn't small as an animal kind of thing.
Yeah, very strange.
Very strange,
and
yeah.
of course, Ben, being a real big fan of mannequins, you really enjoyed it in the Heritage Centre as well.
No.
He was proper freaked out.
I don't like mannequins at all.
So you're going with a yes?
Yes.
Okay, Phil, your venue, what do you reckon?
It's the second time I've been on the Ross Tiger. I went there many years ago, and it's a brilliant venue. So thank you very much for letting us do that. And the Heritage Centre, what a brilliant place. Yeah, I think it's something. I think there's something there. Certainly on the ship.
Yeah.
I think there's something
Which
there.
has got the man with no face.
Yeah, that was
I still think that's
a
amazing.
strange story, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we didn't see that.
Creepy.
I'm upset we didn't see that.
Okay, Jane, what do you reckon?
I reckon there's something going on there. I mean, did have some stuff happen to me, but not as much as the others. But knowing the team, if it happened to them, it happened to them. So I'm going to say yeah.
Okay. And for me, I absolutely loved it. Loved it there, loved it on the boat, and it was just such a surreal feeling, wasn't it, being on there and hearing all the noises.
Such a different venue, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
so unique.
And then inside the Heritage Centre, I actually went for a wander off by myself, which was quite creepy, that bit where you go through where there's the guys in the yellow Max, and it just reminds you of a certain horror movie.
Yeah.
I do think we did... Again, knocks, bangs, there's a few things. I think something spooky is going on at the Ross Tiger. My venue this time is a private house. A local paranormal team have been in to investigate and turned up some quite interesting results. There is a figure said to haunt in the kitchen area and noises heard upstairs on the landing.
My venue is a 19th century country inn, with reports of a ghostly apparition seen in the ladies' toilet after hours and the sounds of a baby crying in the early hours of the morning.
So I'm bringing this venue back to the table. It's the Grade 2 listed house in a quaint village location. People have been scratched and pushed, and the figure of a woman's been seen upstairs. And since I last brought it, more things have been happening.
We've all looked at the venues, we've made our decision, and the winner is...